Bro, I don't care if you failed 3 times already or you think you're just bad at product research, guys. Fashion dropshipping prints money if you do it right. And in this video, we're going to cover why women's fashion is still printing, how to find banger products, crafting a high converting store, crafting ads that actually work, how and when to scale those ads, increasing your AOV, hiring and building a team, and scaling to 1M a month, guys. Let's start with the market. Let's start with the obvious, guys. Women's fashion is the easiest market to print in, and why? It's emotional and it's visual. And it solves identity problems, for example, confidence, comfort, style, and women tend to buy more impulsively than men when the offer hits just right. And the market is enormous, guys. The global fashion e-com scene is nearly $1 trillion in 2025 and it's fucking growing fast. And in plain terms, guys, there is just like a huge amount of money there's to be made with women's fashion. And guys, you're not just selling clothing, you're always selling like a transformation. So for example, look slimmer, feel better, boost your confidence. Guys, that's the real fucking hook here. And that's also why, for example, shapewear or compressor leggings and products like that really fly to the moon and back. So secondly, we're going to talk about find what's already printing, guys. To be honest, it's not so hard to find printing products. You just need to find what already works for other people. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel here. You don't need to like come up with like crazy ideas or something like that. We just have to find what already works for a competitor and do it better. Make a better site, make maybe some better ads, just like we're really going to cook so we can do it better than the competitor. So how are we going to do that? We're going to do that with the tools like Denote, PeopleSpy, and Winning Hunter. I've already explained a few tools in the previous videos. Also make sure to check those out. With Denote and PeopleSpy, really the best tools to already find good ads, to already find good competitors that are basically crushing it. And to also find good products that have momentum, that are getting scaled at this moment. So you can basically take the product, maybe do it with like a better offer or maybe with a new angle, and suddenly you have a winning product, right? So that's most important when finding new products. So when building a store, it really comes down to the fundamentals. To begin with, your site just needs to be fast. So make sure to use a team like, for example, Impact, Impulse, and really like teams like that, and it's going to convert. So make sure to hire someone from Fiverr to make sure that the speed of the site is optimized and the speed is at least above like 90 or 95. And also make sure, for example, when you're targeting like Denmark, Sweden, that you're going to hire a proofreader for that. So the language is totally correct on your website. So it really comes down to like the fundamentals. So make sure you have just a good headline, some nice images. Also guarantees, guys. People really love guarantees. Maybe some reviews and a CTA button. That's just like the basics of a product listing. And so it really doesn't need to be difficult. It really does need like a really complex website. Just make it clean, and also make sure to base your store a bit on like the best competitors of your market, so you immediately know like, okay, my store is definitely going to convert. And then you only need to focus on like good product research and good media buying. So that's really good to keep in mind. So now guys, let's talk ads. And this is really like the lifeblood of your dropshipping store. You already have a product and you already have like a decent site. So how do you actually get people to buy? By creating scroll stopping ads that make people tap shop now without overthinking too much. To begin with, like static ads, videos ads, which one works better? Honestly, doesn't fucking matter. Images really crush it. I've seen videos crush it. They both work and it's both really good, so it doesn't really fucking matter. And what's most important is to study what's already working, guys. So don't reinvent the wheel again, reverse engineer it. So for example, go back to those competitors that you've already spied on and really check like, okay, what's the hook in the first 3 seconds? What kind of approach or ad copy are they using right now? And what's maybe the scroll stopper visual? So like what kind of image are they using, or what kind of video are they using? And what's the offer, or what's the CTA? So for example, are they running a summer sale, or maybe they're running something else? So really make sure to study what's already working for that specific competitor. If an ad has been running for weeks and it has a lot of reach, it has a lot of spend, guys, it's like a proven formula. It's really a no-brainer that that ad would work. So, and guys, that's really your sign to copy the ad, to take the ad, to make the ad copy maybe a little bit better, to change it a little, and rebuild to your own version, and also test it. That's basically how you create good ads. And also when you're scaling more, then you're really going to build your own ads more. And yeah, and then it's really fucking scaling time. So you've already got some ads running and a few sales are starting to come in, and congrats guys, you're now out of the baby stage of dropshipping, and now comes really the fun part, scaling those ads to the fucking moon, and also without blowing all of your profit. Like, how do you scale and when do you need to scale? So I've also explained this in other videos already, but like, what's really important is to track everything down, to track all the data down of every campaign that you're running at this moment. And why? Once you have that data, you know, like, okay, maybe I'm running at a 30% margin and 20% margin. So for example, when I'm running at 30% margin, I'm going to double the budget. When I'm running at 20, maybe only with 20% every 24 hours. This is really important to keep in mind. Also, when downscaling, you really need to know your data, because for example, you can do 10K a day with 20 different campaigns, but where is the profit coming from? Where are the losses coming from? For which exact campaign? So what do you need to do in order to optimize your ad spend to make sure that your overall gross margin is still good? And also make sure when you're scaling, so for example, you're already scaling a specific product to 200 or 300 in ad budget a day, also make sure that every 3 days you're adding new ad sets with fresh creatives, so you can really push the budgets way more and still be consistent. Because at the end of the day, content is fucking key. Content is key, and the more content you have, the further you can scale and the more consistent you will be. So that's also really important to keep in mind when scaling, guys. So, and what do you need in order to also achieve a higher revenue a day? It's also by increasing AOV. Okay, you can have a product for like 40 euros, and to achieve a target ROAS of, for example, a 3 ROAS, you can only spend $15 to achieve a profitable spend for that 45 euro product. So what happens when you have a higher AOV, for example, $100? Then you can spend $30, $40 for one purchase for one customer. So what will happen? You will outcompete the competition. You can scale way higher. And how do you do that? So step one, make sure you use bundles. For example, the people really buy like 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces more often, and you will have a higher AOV. Step two, post-purchase upsells. Really make sure from A to C, the whole fucking funnel, that you optimize for AOV. So post-purchase upsells are really a good one. You can easily add 10 euros on your AOV just by using them. Step 3, email sequences. These ones are just really underrated. You can have at least 10 or 12% of your total revenue coming from email sequences, and this will also really improve your AOV and your LTV on every customer that's basically signing up for email sequences, or that have already purchased on your site, or maybe also for abandoned checkouts, really recover a lot. So basically, when you have those 3 in place, you will definitely have a higher AOV and also definitely have a better profit. And eventually, your goal is to have $100 average order fucking value, guys. So really make sure to keep that in mind. So step 7, hiring and building your team, and you basically go from a solo hustler to more like a CEO. So when you're starting out, guys, it's likely that you're just doing everything, and that's fine. Even in the beginning, guys, please keep it lean. You don't need a team on day one. In fact, you could already scale to several 100,000 a month in sales as a fucking one-man show. But please keep in mind to outsource tasks that are, for example, $4 task, $5 task, and go on like that. So guys, when do you bring in help? To begin with, I would highly advise to begin maybe outsourcing from 2K a day. So who are you basically going to hire? A CS rep to make sure that your customer service is locked in and all of your customer service tickets are getting answered on time. Backend is one of the most important things in e-com, so make sure to really have a good backend. A creative editor, a lister, and also an ads launcher. And why? Most of these tasks are, for example, $5 tasks or $8 tasks. Why the fuck would you still do it? Why would you still list products when you only need to focus on product research, on scaling? And that's the most important thing. So when you also outsource tasks like these, you have way more time to do product research, to find more winners, to build more stores, to open more stores, and you will do higher revenue because of it. But for you, it's really important to give each of the hires weekly KPIs, and they should also hit them. And also, in my opinion, hire fast and fire fast. So for example, they're making tons of mistakes, fire them immediately and hire someone else. Like, there are tons and tons of people that wants to get hired, so also make sure to hire the right one. So point 8, scaling to 1M a month. What does it take to go from, for example, 100k a month to 7 figures a month? To begin with, expand product line. So maybe right now you're testing 3 products a day. Make sure to test more. So double down on it. Maybe test 7, test 8 a day or 10 a day on different ad accounts. And what's going to happen? You will have more winners to begin with. Secondly, multiple markets, multiple stores. So for example, you're now running in Australia. Make sure to double down on Australia. So have 2 stores in Australia. Maybe also launch a store in UK. Maybe also launch a store in Italy. Maybe also launch a store in France. Like, multiple stores and multiple markets are really key, and being consistent and scaling to 1M a month. And why? Because for example, when you have a store at like 10k a day, or you have 5 stores at 10k a day, it's way more consistent than one really high store. So really make sure to also double down on that. And this is the most important part. Your backend needs to be locked in. So when you don't have a proper backend, you're going to lose too much money. You will have a high refund rate. You will have payment processors block you, and you will go to fucking bankrupt. So make sure to always have your backend locked in, to keep low dispute rates, keep low refund rates, and make sure you always do a good gross margin and really handle your media buying properly. So last but not least, build a good relationship with your supplier, guys. This is overlooked way too much. Like, you can already have so much more margin when you have a good relationship with your supplier. You have way cheaper COGs, and when you have way cheaper COGs, you have a better margin. You can scale on a lower ROAS, and you will do a better profit for sure. So now we'll come to point 9, secret sauce and speed to the market, guys. What's really important? Speed in this game is key. Speed is really key. So always make sure to launch faster than your competition. So for example, you're now thinking like, okay, maybe I should launch a store in the Netherlands. Bro, fucking get it done today and launch tomorrow. That's the most important thing in this market. Speed is key. So when you right now have an idea, maybe 10 different people have the same idea as you. And when you take action on it and you're basically like the first person to do it, of course you're going to be more profitable when 20, 30, 40, 50 guys already tested the product or maybe already capitalized on it, right? So make sure always launch faster than all of your competition, and don't overbuild, just test 3 times fucking faster, guys. So make sure to do that. Speed is key. So yeah, guys, fashion dropshipping in 2025 isn't hard. You're just doing it wrong. And if it's not working, to recap, here's how you print money, even when you feel like a total newbie right now. Just pick the right market, spy on what already works, copy proven messaging, build a fucking good backend and a proper team, and stack your AOV. And launch fast, fill fast, scale fast, guys. Speed is your best friend, so make sure to also capitalize on it. And guys, do all of that and you will be well on your way to printing good, consistent cash. Now quit fucking doom scrolling TikTok, guys, and go fucking do it. Drop your questions below or DM me if you're serious, and I'm here to help those who help themselves, guys. So please keep that in mind and launch with speed. Ciao.